Temperatures are in the 20s right now. Our normals this time of year would be 50 and 22, 77 and 5 below. The sunrise officially occurring at 6:20 this morning and sundown at about 6 p.m. Right now, these are the wind speeds that we have. A big change from what we saw yesterday. The teens out on the plains, 9 miles an hour at the airport, 12 in Fort Collins. Hardly any wind in the high country, and over on the western slope, just single digits for Grand Junction. We look at the temperatures. They are what will be the weather story for today because they are very mild into the mid-20s. Fort Collins has 28. The Springs at 27. The high country below the freezing point in Grand Junction at 38. In fact, north of Denver into Boulder, Hope, one of our weather watchers, called in. She confirmed we're starting to see some light snow in Boulder this morning. You'll see the echoes showing up ever so lightly, just a few flurries. Places like Brighton also getting into the activity, and over on the western slope as a new storm moves into Colorado. The storm from yesterday, you see it exploding up there through the northern plains, and that's exactly what we're talking about. The temperature also changing for them. We have -15, so -15 from what we saw yesterday. 28 degrees cooler for folks as they move into the central Midwest up to the Dakotas. 30 degrees different for them, so big changes. Here's a look at our highs for today. We'll be into the 40s in most places, cooler out on the plains with the warmest down to the southeast. Lamar, a high of 55 degrees. There is a snow advisory for the northern central mountains. We could see 1 to 3 inches for them. So skiers, good news for you. We'll also have the ski totals coming up for you. An isolated shower or two, but these snow showers becoming more widespread as we move throughout the day. Mostly cloudy and showers likely. A high today of 42 degrees. The overnight low 27. Snow is possible this evening into tomorrow. Here's a look at your next 5 days. Tomorrow 38, so very, very chilly. Saturday 50s, and then Sunday and Monday we move into the 60s, so a nice rebound. A lot of sunshine if you have weekend plans. Looks like it'll be a good one to do some gardening, get out and about, ride your bike, whatever.
You did it again. You cease to amaze, Amy. Thank you.
Just a little taste of winter weather. 8:28 is the time. Here are highs across our region today. Cheyenne 86, Salt Lake City 91, Albuquerque 90, 101 in Oklahoma City, and 93 in Lincoln, Nebraska. Here at home, 90 degrees for the high. It will be an above normal afternoon here in the Front Range. Overnight lows are in the 50s. We will see increasing clouds, but should remain shower free in the metro area. Instead, isolated showers to the high country and the southern part of the state. Coming up, your 5-day outlook in just a few minutes. A new movie opens this weekend called The Crew. The story is set in Miami, Florida. It stars Richard Dreyfuss and Burt Reynolds as ex-mobsters facing retirement. This movie is directed by a man who calls Colorado home. Meet filmmaker Michael Denner. It's always fun when someone you know makes it big. Denver-raised movie director Michael Denner has done it. He recently premiered his new movie, The Crew, in Miami. We sat down to talk about his career. 1972, he said, I'm out of here. I'm leaving Denver, and I'm going to make it big in Hollywood.
Well, I've had kind of a strange life. I left Denver. I graduated from high school, and there were two things I wanted to do when I was growing up. One was to jump up and down on a stage and be Keith Richards, and the other was to make movies.
He says after film school, he embraced the role of director and found success. Denner's latest project, The Crew, stars 4 Hollywood veterans.
We're 4 old men. We live on a couple of dollars from the government. Huh? You give us a can of soup for dinner, we're asleep by 8 o'clock.
His attention to detail is incredible. I mean, he really does his homework. And he's a very nice man.
Burt Reynolds, Richard Dreyfuss, the entire crew spoke highly of Denner. They all worked together on location. Filming was done last summer in the beautiful southern Florida.
Certainly Miami's a character in the piece. And you know, the thing about Miami is it's kind of this weird combination of, you know, there's the young and the beautiful and the old and old.
Miami has an odd clash of characters, and Denner says just filming on the streets of South Beach can be distracting enough, not to mention all the weather woes.
It's like 95 degrees and 100% humidity, and you'd start shooting outside and all of a sudden look up and storm clouds are rolling in.
Filming wrapped up 1 year ago, just as hurricane season began. Now the film is ready for delivery. Denner says he hopes his hometown likes The Crew. And if you're wondering, is this guy really from Denver? Just ask about the Broncos.
I still have a season ticket. My family's still in Denver.
You're kidding me.
So I went to 17 games in the 2 years in Denver, some playoff games out of Denver, and the 2 Super Bowls.
So there's the proof. He's still a Bronco fan. He has not lost his roots. Dinner's movie, The Crew, opens this weekend. Tomorrow, my exclusive interview with one of the stars of the movie, Burt Reynolds. Well, she's an Academy Award-winning actress, and she has a special cause she wants you to be aware of. Olympia Dukakis will be live in the studio coming up a little later this morning, and we'd like to hear from you. Drop us a line at WB Today, 6160 South Wabash Way, Inglewood, 80111, or email us at WB2.com. We'll read your letter on the air. It's 8:31.
A word or two, and then a lifetime.
Hey, forget Mariano Rivera, forget the Broncos, forget the Rapids, forget the Rockies. We're talking about Burt Reynolds.
He is quite an actor, isn't he? Over the years, some of my favorite roles he's done recently, Boogie Nights and then Mystery Alaska, all pretty good roles. And Burt Reynolds, in this new movie, he plays a senior citizen. He may be getting a little older, but I don't think you should count him out just yet. He's starring in The Crew, a new movie that opens today. I had the chance to talk to him exclusively about his new role and what he's been up to.
Our crew. Salute.
You said the good times were gonna last forever.
I thought we'd be dead by now.
The story is set in sunny southern Florida. 4 ex-mobsters make up the crew. They face retirement in yuppie-saturated Miami Beach.
I also want the lettuce and...
Look, lady, I know what the commercial says, but special orders do upset us.
While they are in the sunset of their years, it's not exactly sundown for these retirees.
Hey! We would have been better off dead!
Actor Burt Reynolds plays Joey Bats Pastilla, a guy with a wee bit of a temper.
You gotta agree with me. I'm gonna rip that hose right out of your nose. I'm gonna do you a favor. Your Jell-O-eating days are over.
Okay, so his character is a little ornery, but Burt Reynolds himself is as charming as ever. Aging hasn't slowed him down on or off the screen. We sat down to talk about his fresh and funny new movie, The Crew.
Grumpy old men in Miami, not in a rocket ship. That's, wish we had a rocket.
Think of anything.
But they're just on the porch. So they had a hard time saying, will this appeal to anybody?
Appeal is something Reynolds knows plenty about. A film career 4 decades long and a lengthy list of awards and honors. He says he's become one of the most recognizable actors in Hollywood by staying close to his fans.
I mean, I really like people, and I think that sort of comes through. Plus the fact that you get a lot of people that recognize that you're not part of the Hollywood scene, you know. I just never was. And you got this for $10 on the street. You know what I mean? I ask you, could you do this? Could you do this? Real Rolex.
Reynolds says this role and this movie parallel his own life in a strange sort of way.
We're all going to get to a point in our life where we're sitting on the porch and everybody else is skating by. And there's anger about that, and there's humor about that, and there's only one real common bond that we have to have, is we have to laugh about it and have fun. Otherwise, it's over.
He admits he and his co-stars are getting older, but he says the secret to staying young is continuing to have passion in our lives and our work.
And as Richard says in the movie, we have to keep working. We're finished.
So you'll never retire?
Not as long as I can get a job. I mean, if I have to come to Denver and just, you know, clean your boots, I'll be glad to do that. But I have to keep working.
You're hired. Great sense of humor. As I said, Burt Reynolds' new movie, The Crew, opens today, and Gil Whiteley is joining us in about a half an hour to review The Crew and some other new movies opening this weekend. So stay with us for that.
He can clean my boots anytime. By the way, what's your favorite Burt Reynolds movie?
I really liked the Mystery Alaska that came out recently, which was the guys up playing hockey. So, I mean, that's probably not one of the better known ones, but it's one of my favorites.
My favorite, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, The Longest Yard. Fantastic movie. Coming up at the 8 o'clock hour, just for you here on WB Today, we have live music with the band Zoot. And also, we're going to be cooking in the kitchen, actually barbecuing.
Stay with us, it's Friday.
And you know what? Where did our engineers go? Well, now we know where they went. They grab the poles and they're throwing in the line. They're going fishing.
Thanks, Robin. In case you've been on another planet, the hit show Survivor has run its course, and evil reigns supreme as Richard's alliance strategy gets him $1 million and a new ride. Even if you didn't watch the show, you may have heard about good old Rich. He ran around naked all the time. In the finale, he beat out Kelly by just 1 vote. That vote cast by Colorado's castaway Greg. Rich says he will use the money to open an outdoor adventure camp for troubled teens. Kelly nets $100,000 for her 39-day stay on the island. Survivor 2 from Australia debuts on Super Bowl Sunday. 50s beach blanket singer Frankie Avalon is suing the Los Angeles Avalon Hotel. A new promotional campaign for the vacation spot uses an Avalon look-alike who reads the line, "Frankly, Avalon." Avalon says he did not give the hotel rights to use his likeness and says the ad damages his reputation. He's seeking $350,000 in damages from the hotel. Another shining star on the Hollywood Boulevard. This time, the star goes to singer Kenny Loggins. His star will mark 2,162 stars on the Walk of Fame. More than 300 of his fans gathered to see the unveiling yesterday in Los Angeles. Congratulations, Kenny. And believe it or not, the little girl with the big country voice will soon be able to legally vote. Leanne Rimes turns 18 on Monday, and the tabloids are reporting that she may soon be a bride. Published reports say that Rimes' boyfriend purchased a 3-carat diamond ring. Rimes says she doesn't believe the report because her beau would never be able to keep a secret. A new movie called The Crew is opening this weekend. It's a cross between Grumpy Old Men and Get Shorty. It stars Hollywood veterans Richard Dreyfuss and Burt Reynolds. The film is directed by Colorado man Michael Denner. He shot the film entirely on location in beautiful Miami, Florida.
Certainly Miami's a character in the piece. And you know, the thing about Miami is it's kind of this weird combination of, you know, there's the young and the beautiful and the old and old.
Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, I'll have the full interview with Michael Denner, including what it's like to shoot a movie in Miami and his alliance, or allegiance, I should say, to the Denver Broncos, even though he's gone LA. Jeff is in the lab this morning, and he's working on some very fun science projects with a man who's quite Hollywood himself, Steve Nutt.
You know, coming up on 6:53, turning to Hollywood headlines this morning, even though the Survivor saga ended yesterday, a new battle erupts over who gets the rights to the Survivor trademark.
That's exactly right. The lead guitarist for the band Survivor is suing CBS and TBT Records for the use of the Survivor trademark. Franklin Sullivan says he spent 23 years building a name for the band Survivor, and he fears the buying public will be confused with the release of the Survivor TV show soundtrack. Sullivan lost the first round in court, but vows to continue the fight to be the sole survivor in music. And thank you for sparing us the video. Ultimate Survivor Richard is making his rounds on the TV shows. But did you notice his waistline? What happened to all that flab? Richard says he started to lose weight before he became a castaway by eating salad. After his time on the island and a diet of rice and fish, he dropped a total of 140 pounds. Now that he's a millionaire, he's paid to have a tummy tuck.
Don't forget rat was part of that diet as well. Imagine you're working on your latest movie and then you're headed to the emergency room. That was the real-life drama experienced by actress Minnie Driver this week. On Monday, Driver complained of abdominal pains, and when she arrived at a London hospital, they discovered she needed an appendectomy. Her publicist says she's making a speedy recovery and she'll be back on the set in just a few days. That is good news. Woody Harrelson has long been a supporter of hemp, and he maintains that there is a difference between it and marijuana. 4 years ago, Harrelson sought to overturn a Kentucky law that barred the possession of any part of a cannabis plant. So he planted some seeds knowing he'd be arrested for breaking the law. Yesterday, a jury took just 25 minutes to find the actor not guilty of possession. We haven't seen Robin Williams since he played the sentimental robot in Bicentennial Man. Now, the comedian has signed on to play the flamboyant Liberace. That's according to The Hollywood Reporter, which also says the movie will be filmed like The People vs. Larry Flynt. No word on when the movie is expected to reach a theater near you.
If you find yourself in Nashville this weekend, you might want to check out a yard sale. Country singer Wynonna Judd is having a moving sale at her farm just south of Nashville. Of course, Y herself won't be there, but there will be at least 3 tables of shoes, a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, and a 1948 Ford truck. The sale runs through Sunday.
If you're headed to a movie this weekend, we have a little preview of the new releases.
America's Most Wanted.
Bob, the man of the hour!
In the starring role, Wesley Snipes, running from the law in Art of War. It's a movie that finds Snipes falsely accused of killing a Chinese ambassador. There will be some high-tech Matrix-like fighting and some spectacular car chases. Some pretty big guns are backing up Snipes in this movie as well. Ann Archer and Donald Sutherland co-star The Art of War.
Hey, remember, bring it.
Okay, cheerleaders and former cheerleaders, it's the ultimate cat fight between two cheerleading squads from opposite sides of town. Kirsten Dunst stars as the All-American girl who's captain of her squad, and she's determined to win the cheerleading title, but she didn't count on getting some steep competition from the crosstown rivals, whose hip-hop style may have the winning combination to take the title. Rah, rah, rah.
I want you to whack somebody.
You want us to whack somebody?
Yeah, my stepmother.
All right, let's do it.
These senior citizens, retired wise guys, they have to take on an assignment, but they need a little target practice first. Burt Reynolds, Richard Dreyfuss, and Jennifer Tilly star in the black comedy The Crew. The dead man they used for target practice has a son in the mob, and when he finds out how they used his father's body, he targets them for revenge. I sat down with Burt Reynolds to talk about the movie and his career. The exclusive interview coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. Also, Gil Whiteley joins us at 8 to give his review of The Crew and the other movies coming out today.
Burt Reynolds, very cool to talk to him, huh?
It was amazing, and I asked him because in this movie his nickname is Bats, Joey Bats, because he hits everyone with a baseball bat. I said, did you have any nicknames growing up? And he said, yeah. He said they used to call me Bull. And I said, well, why? He says, because I was like a bull in a china shop.
I thought you were going to say because he was so full of bull.
No.
Not quite. 6:57 now here at WB Today, and before you go to the movies in the afternoon.
Jesse is a friend. Yeah, I know he's been a good
Rick Springfield, he's 51 today. Actor and a singer. Shelley Long, actress, also 51. And Barbara Eden from Genie, she's 66. Happy birthday.
Usually this is the time of the show that we show you your horoscopes, but because Gemini was a 0 today, Amy did not want to see the horoscopes today.
The thing is, that's just not a joke because they could definitely do that.
As low as they've gone, I don't know if they can get much lower. They would have to go to
I think
0.
you've had a 2 or a 3 before, but I don't think you've got a 0 before. So, hey, we're talking to Robin Commons today. His horoscope is always a 10.
Hey, all right. That's what I like to hear. Hey, we're up over the Boulder Turnpike area here, but we're looking at the usual slowing here coming through this construction zone. But let's talk about getting into the tech center here this morning along C470 right now. Not a bad drive despite the sunshine glare. Got a little slowing for eastbounders right around Broadway as you come up over that little hill, but nothing too serious about 20 minutes in from Wadsworth to Park Meadows. The South Valley coming out of downtown heading to the tech center is slowing due to the sunshine from Broadway down through to around University. Loosens up after that the rest of the way into the tech center. So that drive is not too bad this morning. And 225 across Aurora, just a little crowding as you start to approach I-25 and, of course, the Tech Center area. I'm Robin Commons, WB Today.
Thank you very much, Robin. 6:49 now. You're watching WB Today, and you know what time it is.
That's right. Hollywood headlines this morning. We're close to the finish line in that race towards the ultimate survivor. So we'll have that story for you.
That's right. But first, rumors about the health problems of Madonna's baby. Yes, representatives for Madonna continue to say that baby Rocco is in fine health and at home with his material mom. But the New York Post quotes unnamed sources who say the baby was born jaundiced and is still in the hospital. We'll keep you posted. Rapper Eminem may have new material for his next Angry album. That's because he's embroiled in an ugly custody battle with his estranged wife, Kim, who is asking for sole custody of the couple's child and $10 million in spousal support. Eminem is being sued by his mom for defaming her in some of his songs and in interviews. The likely title for the new album might be Singing from the Poorhouse. And, of course, tonight's the night. Millions of people will be turning in to find out if Kelly, Richard, Rudy, or Susan makes $1 million. Amy Freeze will be one of them tuning in. The 2-hour finale of Survivor begins at 7 tonight, and the winner will be announced just before 9. That winner will receive $1 million. And if you don't stay up that late, you can find out who the winner is by tuning into WB Today tomorrow morning.
Actor Clint Eastwood will join a distinct group of Americans this December. He's going to be given a medal at the White House. Seen here in this video, starring in his recent film, Space Cowboys, Eastwood will join Angela Lansbury, Chuck Berry, and a host of others in receiving this very important award. It'll be at the Kennedy Center Honors Show coming up this December. There's a funny and fresh comedy starring Richard Dreyfuss and Burt Reynolds. It's opening this weekend. The Crew. It was shot on location in beautiful southern Florida. The story follows 4 ex-mobsters who are facing retirement in a yuppie-saturated South Miami Beach. I went on location this weekend to talk to Burt Reynolds about this movie and how to stay young.
I don't know. We're all going to get to a point in our life where we're sitting on the porch and everybody else is skating by. And there's anger about that, and there's humor about that, and there's only one real common bond that we have to have, is we have to laugh about it and have fun.
That's right. We have to laugh about it, have a little fun. Coming up tomorrow and Friday, I'll bring you my exclusive interview with Burt Reynolds and, of course, the Denver director of The Crew. You won't want to miss this, Michael Denner. He's from right here in Denver. And
really? I did not know that.
Movie. Yeah, it's going to be fun to introduce you to him.
Burt, I just can't believe how old Burt Reynolds is now.
Oh, he's not young. Young at heart.
I know. I just saw him star in The Longest Yard, I think, just a couple of days ago, and it just, oh man, it's just tough seeing him getting old. Hey, by the way, real quick on the Survivor, forget voting who gets off the island. I say we have a rat eating contest. What do you think of that?
As long as the viewers don't have to participate, sure.
There you go. Hey, Dan DeRue's hanging out today learning a new brand of self-defense. Mr. Dan, take it away and show us how to do it.
Absolutely, Jeff. Amy, I'm doing absolutely nothing right now. I'm making a fool of myself. Hey.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jeff Peterson. Welcome to WB Today. I'm along with Amy Freeze and Laura Tharquist. And do you guys know what the top job is out there according to Jobs Rated Almanac?
Right, we just read that.
Okay, I'm going to let you know what ranked 167th.
Our job.
No.
Oh, what?
President of the United States.
Really?
Was rated 167th. Number 1 was financial planning. Number 2, I think, was a weathercaster.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I would have voted that number 1, obviously, because it is a great job. It's a good job, and today I have some good news to tell you. Cooler weather. We end the month of August, start September, just as we should. A fall weather pattern. Live picture for you from the Coors Field Cam. Here are the official readings. At the airport, 55. Humidity, 86%. Winds are calm this morning. Barometer is on the rise. And the DTC number here in Inglewood, 57 degrees. Here are numbers across the state. We've got 40s and 50s in the higher elevations. In fact, 48 in Eagle, 54 in Craig, 60 over in Grand Junction. For the northern front range, we get started fairly cool this morning, low to mid 50s. A cold front coming through, not just bringing the cooler numbers, but also a few showers early this morning out on the eastern plains, mainly right through Lyman, Sedgwick, and even Phillips County, getting some light sprinkles, some quick moving showers, and we'll see those dissipate here in the next hour or so. Here's a look at the big picture as far as Colorado goes. We start the morning partly cloudy in the metro area. We'll see those clouds throughout the day today. A partly cloudy forecast is what we're looking forward to. The front comes through, provides some instability, and really a good definition of the cold air mass to the northwest of us and the cooler air mass to the southeast, or reverse that. Cooler air mass to the northwest and the warmer air mass down to the southeast of us as Texas and Oklahoma continue with the triple digits as far east as Memphis, and then back to the places like Salt Lake City and Boise. We see 70. So really a nice definition between this cold front as it moves through. Today we're right on the edge of that. We get 80 degrees for our high, and we end the month on a very cool note after a real scorcher. 55 days of 90 degrees or better for the month, for the summer here in the Denver metro area. Tomorrow 85, so we'll bring it up just a bit, but they continue with the heat down in the southwest. 103 for Oklahoma City. Dallas at 106. They're on their 62nd consecutive day with no rainfall. Around here, we end the month up an inch for precipitation, average
precipitation. 80 in Fort Collins, 80 in the Springs. Out on the plains today, upper 70s, low 80s for places like Akron, and across the border in Goodland, Kansas, they'll go with 88 degrees for their forecast high. The northern front range gets 80s down to the southeastern plains, 92 for the high. Over on the western slope, they'll make it right to the 90-degree mark. Isolated afternoon thunderstorms are possible. The metro forecast wraps up like this. Morning sunshine with isolated storms, 80 for the high. Overnight lows in the upper 50s. We'll get the clearing in here late this evening, setting up for mid-80s tomorrow. And a look ahead to your holiday weekend. Temperatures right about normal for this time of year. Afternoon thunderstorms, so we'll end the monsoon on a real high note, I think, in the high country and the mountain areas, and get some isolated showers around here. But then as we head into Sunday and Monday, things start to die down. We get cool numbers and also drier skies. Overnight lows are in the mid-50s.
Fairly average?
Fairly average for this time of year, so a little bit cooler today than we've seen in a while. Don't let it throw you off, because the 80s are here, and I think they'll be with us for most of September. September turns out to be one of the sunniest months here in Denver. Good.
Just remember, we need good weather for Westfest this weekend, okay?
You bet.
John of the Steel.
Today.
Take doubles.
Thank you very much,
So my
Russell.
2Q2.
You know, yesterday when I saw the snow on the ground, it was just a couple inches out in Parker. I could not believe the pictures in Fort Collins, though. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Nearly a foot they got. In fact, some places getting up to 15 inches. Virginia Dale, one of the places reporting more than a foot. But Leadville, where we have the really cold temperatures this time of year, they only got a half inch.
Go figure.
So yeah, it was a scattered results as far as the snowstorm went. We do have the video to show you, though, from Fort Collins. Jeff mentioned it was quite a sight. Plenty of reminders this morning about this weekend snowstorm. Dumped about a foot of the wet, heavy stuff on the city, breaking branches from trees and, of course, creating those power outages. About 10,000 people spent Sunday without power. That's a little bit of a lonely Sunday, especially when we didn't get to check the Olympics at Sydney. Now, some of the kids were out and enjoying it. In fact, a few snowmen melting this morning. Back here for a live picture. Blue skies will greet you this morning. Low 30s. Even in Fort Collins, we're starting to see it all melt. South winds at 13, 75% humidity. Barometer is falling at this hour and 34 degrees at the DTC. Those southerly winds will help to warm things up nicely today. In fact, we're going to see the numbers jumping by about 20 degrees. Yesterday's high, just 42. That's where we'll be by 9 a.m. And our forecast high today, 65 degrees. It's going to be a good one. Here are the current numbers across the state. The upper elevation still quite chilly. Just the teens for Gunnison, Aspen, and Eagle in the 20s. Over on the western slope, Grand Junction is 37. We'll take low 30s along the front range. With clearer skies, you'll see these clouds move out quickly. In the overnight hour, the chilly conditions were created by that snow that we had melting. And also very clear conditions in the overnight hours. This will be the rule for the next several days. We've got high pressure at the surface and a ridge building which will direct all the storms to the north of us and keeping the west, the central Rockies and the northern Rockies very fall-like, very autumn-like over the next several days. The front that affect us over the weekend, we've got some nice circulation out on the central plains moving into the Ohio River Valley later today. And you can see that cold front as it meshed with the warm, moist air of the Gulf. Wow, things fired up and they had some nice thunderstorms. Temperatures in Oklahoma and Texas in the 60s and 70s, fairly seasonable for this time of year. 70s out to the west, some 80s and 90s showing up on the southwestern corner all the way to Los Angeles today. Billings up north at 67. Tomorrow we start to warm things up. That ridge will strengthen and have a stronghold through the majority of the week. Our temperatures go up into the 70s. The Futurecast shows it as well. The front continues to push out to the eastern seaboard. High pressure becomes dominant for us, and look how quiet the weather pattern is over the west. This will be the rule throughout the week with temperatures jumping into the 70s, maybe even above normal, and we'll go into Indian summer-like conditions. Here's a look at today's numbers. 64 in Fort Collins, 68 in the Springs, Lyman 60. All the way out to Goodland, we'll see mid-60s down to the South Pueblo and Trinidad taking the low 70s, the upper elevations in the 60s with Grand Junction at 71 and Montrose at 68 degrees. We did have some teens this morning in some places across the state, the upper elevations in the foothills, but we're starting to see that warm up, and today at about 20 degrees to yesterday's high. Here in the metro area, clear blue skies, warmer at 65. The overnight hours clear and cool with 40, and the 5-day forecast, look how warm it gets by Thursday, 78 degrees. That's going to be a real warm up for us, and that will take us above normal for this time of year. 72 on Friday. That's evidence of another little shortwave moving into the forecast area, but nothing too serious. So enjoy this warm up, and soon the snow will be but a memory. 8:11 is the time. It's time to talk Sydney. So a reminder to turn away from your TV now if you do not want to hear any of tonight's results. Rainy weather was not the only thing to dampen track and field competition at the Olympics this weekend. The world champion shot putter from the U.S. is embroiled in a drug use controversy. For the latest on that and the Olympic highlights, we're joined once more by John Sherva from our sister newspaper, the Chicago Tribune. Good morning, John.